Good morning, angels and others and everybody. And we've been talking about finding ways of creating clarity so that we can align with who we are, with our soul purpose, if you like, and align with what we're here to do on a minute-by-minute basis, as well as the big picture. So we've been using all sorts of techniques to find that clarity. But so often we actually have the clarity, but we can't admit to ourselves that we actually know our answers. We pretend we don't know our own answers because we want to avoid short-term pain. So an answer might be that we need to leave a relationship, or we need to move house, or we need to give up a job, or we need to start a relationship, or do something that takes some effort, some maybe emotional pain, it might be physical effort, it might be time, it might be money that we need to spend. And often the big answers or the big changes that we need to make, we really don't want to do it. So we'd rather stay a little bit unhappy for the rest of our lives, not jumping this hurdle. So we see a hurdle and we go, no, I'd rather just stay uncomfortable. I'd rather stay poverty-stricken. I'd rather stay unhappy in this relationship, or I'd rather stay unhappy in no relationship, or whatever. I'd just rather stay unhappy and just uncomfortable and whatever. So we see the little hurdle. Well, it looks like a big one because whatever we're looking at is the biggest thing that there is. So one way of stepping over the first apparent big hurdle is to imagine not what you want to do, but what you want to feel after you've done what you want to do. So I want to leave this relationship. So the hurdle is, all the fear of going out on your own and having to break up, and it's awful. How do you want to feel after you've been through the separation? And sometimes that reduces the apparent size of the hurdle. If we can take our focus from the hurdle to the solution, and what's the solution after the solution? And the solution after the solution is how we want to feel having done the action. Or it might be taking the risk and inviting somebody out and starting a new relationship. That might be too daunting. And so that's the hurdle. You might be facing the possibility of rejection and all that stuff of starting relationships again. What a pain. But if we can imagine what it's like to be in a relationship after a month, after 2 months, after a year, and what's the feeling that we will have from that? And suddenly this first little hurdle here, where's my hand gone? Oh, there. This first little hurdle doesn't seem so big if we take the focus off it and focus on the emotion after the action. So the other thing that happens is that people are, often we find this when we're doing counseling or doing life coaching, as I do, and I'll ask someone a question: what do you want to do? What's your favorite color? What do you want to eat? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Where do you want to be in a year's time? What do you want your income to be? Where do you want to live? Or whatever question. And so often the answer, I don't know. And the person saying that thinks that's going to be the end of it. It's not. Sorry. If you come to me for counseling or life coaching, that I don't know will not be the end of it. So one of the little techniques we have in counseling, life coaching, is we ask a question. So we ask somebody, what is it? What do you want? What sort of partner do you want? What sort of job do you want? What sort of life do you want? What sort of whatever trousers do you want? And when the answer comes back, I don't know, the next question is crucial. The next question is, if you did know, what would be your answer? And it's such a simple question, but so often, 90-something% of the time. So what would, if you knew, so I don't know, but if you knew, what would be your answer? And almost immediately an answer will pop up. If you knew, what would be your answer? And we can do this to ourselves. And, we know we're shying away from something that we really don't want to do. Maybe we need to, I don't know, get rid of a whole lot of stuff and renovate the house if we've got to sell it. And we can't be bothered doing that. Do you want to sell the house? Oh, I don't know. The real answer is, I do know, but I don't want to do the work. I want to stay in this short-term thing. But the long term, it's going to be so much better. So in the short term, I've got to do some work. Maybe painting the house, maybe getting rid of a whole lot of stuff, whatever. And it's effort. And it's painful. I'd rather just sit and watch TV and moan about where I am, I suppose. So we can do the same question to ourselves when we're thinking, oh, where do I want to move to? Do I want to sell this house? Do I want a new partner? Do I? We can just say to ourselves, if I knew, what would be the answer? And immediately the answer's there. We may not like it, like we may not like the short-term consequences of that answer, but the answer's always there. If I knew the answer, what would I do? If I knew the answer, what would I say? If I knew the answer, where would I go from here? If I knew the answer, which land agent would I use to sell my house? If I knew the answer, which job would I take? If I knew the answer, what? And suddenly there's an answer. And then we can got the choice. We don't have to follow the answer, but at least we've got it. And we can just choose to go, yeah, I know I should move. I know I should change my job. I know I should whatever. And we can choose not to do it, but we at least know the answer. Because once we're open to the answer, it's amazing how the universe pops up with support and help and ideas and people turn up and all sorts of things happen when we're open to the answer. Because we never have to do it alone. Never, ever have to do it alone. So I wish you a wonderful day of knowing another answer. And may clarity reign. I can't turn this off because the things come over the button. Yes, I can turn it off. Yes, I wish you clarity and a beautiful day.